Hi, Zandile. A very good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I hope you're well too.
I am great. I cannot complain. Let me say some grace so that we start with our job for the day.
Okay.
All right, Father, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for your grace and we thank you for protection. This is a new day. You have renewed your mercies, and we step into it with boldness and courage that we are going to do that which you have assigned us for the day. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Amen.
Mm.
Yes.
All right,
Uh,
Mr. Makwana, let's get into today's work.
All right. Today, Zandile, we are looking at the, professional development. We are looking at employees wherever they may be, self-employed, whether you are employed. So we are looking at the topic, what amazing employees do. We are looking at what amazing employees do. Our dear listeners should also remember that that is also the title of my third book, where I was looking at employees, where I was looking at professional development, where I was looking at, as individuals, how can we serve with excellence? How can we serve with diligence? How can we become the best in what we do? So that is what we are looking at today. So Zandile, you can read for us our thought of the day today.
All right, quickly it says, if we don't create a great, rewarding place for people to work, they won't do great work.
Yeah, if you don't create a good space for work environment for people to work, they won't do the great work. And I just wanted to start with that thought of the day, so that we understand that sometimes the expectations we have on people, any expectations we have with regards to productivity, it has to start with you as an individual, creating the right environment first, creating an atmosphere where people feel cared for, creating an environment where people now they see that even though they are demanded to do more than they can possibly do, but the environment is conducive enough. Sometimes we expect more, but we are not willing to do more. We are not willing to invest in creating such kind of an environment where people are able to get, or to create the results that are desired. So business leaders, managers, company owners, today, what we talk about is to talk about what amazing employees do. The first initial step in creating such an amazing atmosphere is for you to understand that you need to create an environment. You need to create a space where people feel cared for, a space where people understand that you are going an extra mile for them, and then they will be willing to go an extra mile. So that is what I wanted us to talk about as our thought of the day today, that you need to create a great workplace atmosphere so that people can do the great work. So we can go to our first point of the day, Zandile, looking at as an employee. What can you do today to stay relevant? What can you do today to stay amazing? What can you do today to provide results, to create results, to be amazing in what you do every day? So we are going to look at these key elements. We can start with our first element this morning.
All right, this element says we are result-oriented, not just cost-oriented.
Yeah, I don't know if you like to share something there, Zandile, looking at amazing employees, and we're talking about they are results orientated, not just talk orientated.
This we're taking it from an employee's view.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking this goes well with the quote that I just read.
Yeah.
But if you do create a good environment for your employees to work in, then they'll give you a result.
Yeah.
They won't give you what they talked about in the interview.
Mm.
In a nutshell, I'll just briefly say that I think it goes well with the speech that I just read.
Yes, you are very right, and in addition to that, we are living in a community where people can say what they can do. We live in an environment where people show up to work, not to work, but to talk, but to complain, but to blame. So most of the time in workplaces, we go to institutions, where people are not willing to go an extra mile to serve. where they are not willing to do the great work that they say they can do in their CVs. And now, amazing employees. This is an employee who is not focused on what they can say. Everyone can say something. I remember one of the, the statements that I've read from one of the book called The Vibrant Workplace by Dr. Paul White. And he said, words are noise. He said, words are noise. People talk a lot. People say what can be done. Most people say what can change. Most people say what they can do. But it's only those who are doing the work. It's only those who show up and do the work who really do the work. I normally say, go to work by going to work. Make improvements by making improvements. Create a conducive working environment by creating a conducive work environment. Many people say what they can do. Many people think of what they can do. Many people can plan of what can be done. They can even go an extra mile to create office politics. Always complaining, having everything to say, all talk, no action, all idea, no progress, all thinking, no activity. Why? Because they are stuck in this talking phase. Hey, but then you give the person a space to act, they do nothing. Because they've been complaining with other employees, even when you promote them now tomorrow, it's a problem for them to lead because they have been complaining before. Now they cannot break the culture they've created with their friends before. So sometimes not complaining, not talking too much is not for your boss. It's not for your manager, but it's for you. And you being mindful, you being aware that I'm going to work to work. So we have to make commitments every day. As we prepare for work this morning, we need to make a commitment that when I get to work, I will be working. When I file papers, I will be filing papers. So you must be focused on the results that you need to get out of your work every single day. You are not paid for what you say. You are not paid for what you think can be done. You are paid for what you do. So as soon as we replace talking with doing, more results can be done. I normally say this, Zandile, when I lead my staff development training programs. I say that words are limited, but behavior is universal. You cannot talk yourself into progress. You cannot talk yourself into excellence. You cannot talk yourself into promotion. People who are promoted are those who do. Doers do. And at Prime Coach, we normally say once you do, you are done. Because doing is the key ingredient for success. So every single day, when we catch ourselves talking too much, let us ask ourselves the question, am I doing more? Because everyone can talk, everyone can complain, everyone can say what can be done. So amazing employees, just like I shared in this book, what amazing employees do, they are results orientated and not just talk orientated. Yes, of course, there may be issues. You can discuss issues, you can complain about a certain few things, but you blame wisely, you blame intelligently. Your blaming should be accompanied by action. Your complaining should be accompanied by action. Your sitting around should be accompanied by action. Let people know that you are a doer and you are a results-oriented person, so that even tomorrow when you open your mouth, people say, this person is always working. Zandile always show us for the work. Zandile goes an extra mile. Zandile is always here to work. And therefore, when you see her talking about certain issues, we should listen to this person, because ene tota ke motho o berekang e seng gore ka moso ga o simola o bua bota anya yo ke a buang hela. Now that they have identified you now as a talk orientated person, but we need to move quickly to being results oriented individuals. Being mindful that the things are changing, the world is changing, the economy is changing, and we need to change and create more value every single day. It's very, very important that we create value every single day. And that's what amazing employees do. That's our first point for the morning.
Let's get to the second point. The second point says they value and build empowering professional relationships.
Yes, they value and build professional relationships. That's what amazing employees do. And no one has time. No one has time. We are all busy. We all have something to do. We all have deadlines to meet. But amazing employees, they focus on saying, what can I do? What can I create? How can I help the next person? Even within the limited time, they ask themselves, how can I serve others? How can I show up and build professional relationships? Because what is the world, the way it's moving, we are getting in a space where partnerships are very crucial in building any successful organization or building any kind of things that you want to build. Partnerships and knowing people is very crucial. And sometimes I remember last week we talked about relationships, the relationship building attitude, and we said people should fall in love with relationship building. And this is the same today, that people should fall in love with professional development relationships, because we thrive and go as far as we can go in life depending on the teams that we have built. We go as far as we can go depending on the networks we have created. Employees today who are amazing, they are intentional in building relationships. They value people. They understand that tomorrow you may not need the person today, but tomorrow you need that kind of person. So every single day they wake up with the attitude to reach out and to connect with other people. I remember the words of Daniel Cole in his book, The Culture Code. He said, the secret of highly performing groups is seen in collisions. And he went on to explain about what collisions is. He said, these are the vibrant connections between people in any organization or any given environment. That in any given environment, in our workplaces today, we have to create a culture of building networks. We have to create a culture of going an extra mile for the next person, because that's what makes us to be strong. We are because of the next person. You are because of your colleagues today in your workplace, Zandile. We are because of each other. So every single day we must be mindful to build those professional, networks that helps us to improve. We learn from others. There's what we talked about, some previous ago in the show here, Zandile, we talked about, culture air, that people have different experiences and they have different information. And therefore, when we are able to connect with them, we are able to tap into those experiences and they can help us to thrive in anything we do. There's something that other people know that you don't know, and you cannot go as far as you can go without knowing that input which they have. So we all need each other. Every single day, amazing employees, they are willing to go an extra mile to learn from others. They are willing, to understand what others are doing. And every single day, they build professional relationships.
All right, Mr. Makwana, let's get to the next point. The next point is identify and leverage on the strength.
Yeah, amazing employees, they tap onto that strength. Yes, there are issues they are not good at. Yes, there are things they are not really great at, but they are not going to stand there. Identify what's not working for you, but don't just end there. Identify the things that are not going well, but don't just end there. Identify what your strengths are. What are you good at? What are you really, really, really good at? One of the things that I do, Zandile, when I work with professionals, I do strength assessment tests. And it helps me and it helps individuals that I'll be coaching to understand deeply what they are good at, because it analyzes behavior, it analyzes attitude. And now, once you know what your strengths are, you play to your strength all day. You play to your strength all day. And your focus now on playing to your strength helps you now to build and boost your confidence. It improves your self-esteem. The way you look at self, your self-image changes, and the attitude you have to yourself changes. So that's what amazing employees do. They know what they are good at. They have identified what they are good at. They have found mentors, coaches who can help them to identify what possibly they can do and what possibly they have a challenge to do. Now, every single day, we see them with vibrancy. We feel like they know everything. We feel like they understand everything. It's because they play to their strength. Many people, they wake up every day, and every time when a new task is shown out in the boardroom, they'll be like, I know I'm not good at that. I know I cannot do this. I know this is not my place. I know I don't belong here. And sooner or later, without even recognizing it, they fire themselves. They stop showing up. They stop participating. They stop coming with ideas. They stop engaging. And sooner or later, the organization let them go. It all starts with yourself, the way you view yourself. So amazing employees, they understand that this world is a competitive world. And if you don't show up, you are out. The day you don't show up, you are out. So every single day, they are able to identify, what am I really good at? And what can I improve? What can I change? What can I work on? What do I need to tweak? What do I need to refine? As they look at their strength, as they look at their talents, as they look at their skills, they are able to align themselves professionally to build in themselves. There's a program, Zandile, that we are introducing at Prime Coaching in July, and it's open for the public. It's the Professional Development Network, where we work with professionals from all walks of life, saying, how can we improve in this COVID era? How can we improve the vibrancy and the work rate in our culture, in our organizations? How can we change as a nation so that we are a productive workforce? So we'll be meeting once in a month and working on ways to improve our skills, to improve our networks, to improve our communication, and most importantly, Zandile, to improve our customer service in our nation so that we become a very competitive nation. So that's just what amazing employees do. They are looking for opportunities to tap in so that they are willing to refine themselves and they are willing to improve themselves. You know, there is nothing as hurtful as to sit around and say people don't like you and people don't appreciate you. Only to look at yourself, sit down and say, I am the one who's not showing up to the plate. I'm the one who is not doing my best. I'm the one who is not doing what needs to be done. And you start realizing that you need to work on yourself. And that's a call to action for everyone, that we need to work on ourselves. We need to identify that which really speaks to our heart. And we start operating from that power. That is very crucial, Zandile.
Let's get to the last point, Mr. Makwana. It simply they are consistent. They do not. They are. They are not the on and off type of individual.
Yes. Maybe to remind our listeners, this insights, 4 insights we're talking about this morning on what amazing employees do, come from my book, What Amazing Employees Do. And the book is about the attitude and mindset of employees who create extraordinary results today. So our last point this morning, Kionia, they are consistent people. They are not the on and off type of individuals. Zandile, they are people who show up once in a while. And they expect to get the things that people who keep showing up every day get. There are individuals who are saying, nna kana ke sale ke dirile go mo ka 2016. Nna ha mpona ke leha, nkile ka berekela company ye, wa itse re ke nna ke bereketseng tota, e bile gompe kwana nka ba le sehane se ka nna. Mme motho a bua ditse le re dirile ka 2003. And now they are not showing up. They are not an asset now to the organization they work for. They are a liability. So it's very crucial, ladies and gentlemen, to understand that things are changing every day. Yes, you did your best in 2002, but today the business manager who is running this organization is a new kid who was in school while we were working in 2002. And they expect you to deliver every day. They expect you to show up every day with diligence and excellence. Therefore, there is no time where you are going to sit down and say, oh, well, these people did this to me years ago and then today I'm not showing up. There are people who turn themselves on and off. And the problem with the on and off type of people is that some days, the day you really need to be on, you are not going to be able to switch yourself on. The day you really need to show up, you might not show up because there's muscle memory. Your muscle is telling you every day by 8 a.m. when you are still sleeping. And the day now you start working on a project that demands more of you, it's a challenge to move from zero to hero. So every day, let us teach ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, that we can deliver, we can go an extra mile, we can become result-oriented individuals, and we can show up every day to do that which we are hired to do, because it's our responsibility as an employee. as a member of a team, that you show up every day to deliver with excellence. So that is something that I wanted to share with our dear listeners this morning on what amazing employees do. They are results orientated. They value and build professional relationships. They identify and leverage on their strength. And lastly, they are consistent. They are not the on and off type of people. My name is Mompoloki Makwana. My number is 74776196, 74776196. If you need any copies of my book, What Amazing Employees Do, and Team Building Guide for Workplace Effectiveness, make sure to contact me at that number. Zandile, thank you so much for hosting me this morning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makwana. We'll meet again next Tuesday.
All right, yes.
Today.